Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast. Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Johnny and Carlos, and I'm Lafayette. Just three of us today, as Hugh couldn't make it due to family obligations. He had to drop him off somewhere in the field and then drive away and wave. Marie, of course, sometimes here, sometimes not. Never know. It's a game show with her. But we are going to have a whole cornucopia of movie reviews today. Some we're catching up on. Some just came out on Disney Plus. One is by a famous director, which he does not deserve that title. But he's famous, or would I say he's well known? And that's where we're going to start with. M. Night Shyamalan Dong. How do you say his last name?
Shyamalan?
Ding dong. Good job, Johnny.
You just set me up for a joke.
Yeah, dick joke. D's nuts.
Shyamalan.
So we all know M. Night from, of course, Signs and Sixth Sense, his best movie for sure. Unbreakable, Mr. Glass, or is it just called Glass, or is it called Mr. Glass?
It's called Glass.
And then Split, Lady in the Water, The Village, that movie with Mark Wahlberg that was a piece of
Happening.
shit. There we go. We'll just go with that one. Anything I'm missing here? Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar.
That was
The
a piece
Village.
of shit.
Did you say The Village?
I did say The Village. Yeah.
After Earth, that piece of shit with Will Smith and his son.
Shit, he did After Earth.
That was
right.
M. Night?
That's
I
right.
believe it was.
Are you sure it was M. Night, or was it not the?
No, it was M. Night.
Was it M. Night, or was it the guy that did Face Off?
No, it was.
No. Okay.
It was. Let's see.
Didn't Jerry Bruckheimer do Face Off?
Face Off was done by the Asian
Ang
director.
Lee, wasn't it?
Ooh,
No.
Ang Lee did that Will Smith movie. That's
No,
right.
the After Earth was directed by M. Night.
Was it really?
It was directed by M.
It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Oh, he kept the shitty streak alive.
That's right.
Right.
And then he did one called, I think, The Devil, which took place in an elevator. Man, he's a horrible director. You know, the problem is he writes his own movies. That's his flaw. Stop directing your own movies.
The problem is everyone gave him a big pat on the back after Sixth Sense,
After his first
and
movie.
The Sign or Signs. So, and Unbreakable wasn't bad either, but people just kept patting him on the back and giving him the go to do what you want. And well, you got what you got.
You know, he got 3 in a row to start.
Oh, The
that was-
Visit. He did The Visit as well.
Oh, I seen The Visit. That's
That
right.
was
Actually,
garbage.
it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
It was shit.
But The Visit's about the old folks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the mom's like, that's not your grandparents. And then, yeah. Okay.
That's the weird thing about that movie. They drop the kids off, but they never go inside to see mom and dad. You know, like, oh, just assume mom and dad are inside.
Yeah. I mean, the parents just drop them off. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I hate M. Night. God damn it.
So 3 in a row. And I think the 3 in a row worked because they were genres you could easily work with. First one was ghosts. Second one was aliens. Third one was superheroes. And then when he was like, time for me to just go off on Wackyville and do my own shit without using generic genres, it went downhill fast. So he brings us the latest, Old, from M. Night. Old is a movie about the medical
science
advancement, I guess.
Sure.
Medical
research.
advancement. There you go. We are so overselling this movie. It's not about that at all. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Man,
Stay tuned because we're gonna save you a lot of time.
it's such a
We
bad-
wasted our time
who
for
do we
you,
blame for this?
our listener. There was 108 minutes of garbage.
We blame one guy and he didn't show up because he knew.
He
just
knew.
knew. Just like the game.
Fucking
He
knew.
knew by saying
That was
"Hey,
Hugh's
fellas."
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Whoa.
fellas, why don't you
whoa.
guys watch
Motherfucker.
Old? And
I can honestly say I can never take another movie review from Hugh. Never. I'm like, dude, I can't do it, man.
And the bad part was he was super excited. We should do old. I saw it. It's really good. We should do old. And I was like, dude, we can't do autobiography movies about you, man. Like, it's all good, bro.
So why don't you break down the premise of the story?
Carlos, go.
Break down my fucking tears. So here's the premise. This family gets invited to a resort. I think it's called Anamica Resort. Anyway, so they're there with their family, and apparently they're keeping a secret from the kids. Secret is mom's got a tumor. They don't know if it's benign yet, but they figured they'll take one last vacation before they tell the kids, and because it might be bad news, they don't know yet. So then the resort host, the guy who runs it, I guess, tells them about a secret beach that has these weird anomalies with the rocks around it that they don't tell anybody because it's secret. But you know what? They're a good family, so they're gonna let them go to this beach. They're gonna take them there themselves, actually. But they take the family to the beach. They get dropped off, and that's when shit starts hitting the fan. So that's the premise.
This magical beach. What happens is every half hour.
No, every hour you age 2 years.
Okay, so
But you're right. Every half hour is a year. But the way they explained it was 2 years every half hour.
Of course you would do that. Of course you would do that.
Well, that's the way the movie explained
out
it.
of 5 stars. No, it's normally out of 10 stars. Well, this time's about 2. You fucking.
That's right. That's right. Well, I thought it was funny too when the guy said that. How old do you think we're getting? Oh, it's easily every hour is 2 years.
Yeah. So
like
things don't quite add up, and it's funny. Like it's almost like a Gilligan's Island type of thing. There's each member of everything on the beach. Like, oh, there's going to be a doctor. There's going to be a nurse. There's going to be a archaeologist who's going to be able to. Hey, these bones aged 45 years, and according to my calculations, we age every half hour or some shit. It's so fucking stupid. One of the characters that I liked the most because she was so fucking terrible was a psychologist.
She was horrible
because she just kept talking about I'm a psychologist, and then like fucking boom, dead body. Maybe we should talk about it. I'm like,
yeah,
shut your ass up.
That was like
I'm gonna set up a trauma center over here if anybody wants to talk.
That's like if the doctor.
How
was
does
a
that make you
chiropractor.
feel? Right.
I'm a doctor.
You
No,
like
you're
want
a
to get the
chiropractor.
fuck out of here.
Oh, and then
How about the black rapper?
whoa.
Slow down.
Subcompact SUV.
What was his name?
No, his name was it was
Sedan.
Mid-size sedan.
Mid-size
Mid-size
sedan was his
sedan.
rap name.
Out of all the
Mid-size.
fucking
I
names
guess I
that
can't
M.
use
Night-
that name now because that was my name.
Oh man, it was so bad. But remember, you notice that everyone that goes to the resort got fed an online ad, and those people were all fed ads that had some type of medical issue with them. So
Right.
What's one of the stupid lines? Like when the mom turns when they get there, she's all, "Can you believe I found this online?" Well, isn't that where most people find places to go on vacation and resorts? Don't they go?
but remember, she
online?
also said it was super cheap and that the like it was fed to her because she had a medical problem.
Yeah, she didn't elaborate, but then she's also a terrible actress. So
And a terrible mother.
terrible everything. I found some of the parts entertaining, like they go there with a couple of kids. There's another couple that brings their daughter, and the kids age so fast, and they go through all
the stages of just
all
everything.
stages of life, and then within like an hour, like a daughter is pregnant, and just stupid shit.
But
like
that part was
That
funny
shit was
because
so fucking.
when they were
dumb.
walking down the beach together holding your hand,
yeah.
and they're like, "What happened? We were just playing around." I was like,
That's exactly. When did they have time to even have sex? I mean,
He
they
definitely-
turn their back for a second, and then
Yeah.
oh, where the kids at? Oh, she's fucking pregnant.
and that must have
What?
lasted a minute easy. He just got in and out of there, and
Well,
boom.
hey,
baby.
don't judge him for that, okay? Let's keep it down on the
She
judgment.
must have been
Uh,
super fertile.
Just depends on what time of the day that they
Time
fuck,
of the day or the
right?
time of the year, time of life.
So-
Movie
The moon-
stupid.
Where was
It's-
the moon at? What? But what's
So-
dumb is that the kid, like when he aged to the first time he aged, and the mom didn't recognize him. He's like, "Where are my kids at?" Oh, they're right here. Even at that time, he was acting like a 6-year-old. He's like, "Oh, what's your name? What's your occupation?" That's the line he was throwing at the resort. He's
Yeah.
6 years old. And all of a sudden he ages another, I don't know, maybe he's in his teens now by the time he gets this girl pregnant. It's supposed to make me believe he's still 6 in his mind. So he's still, but now because his body is aged, all of a sudden he's thinking about sex.
Well, remember, he says that when they're laying down, he's like, it's like my brain is evolving and I'm learning things that I have. I was like, how did you learn anything?
How did you
dumbass?
learn
You have to
that?
learn shit. But then at the end, when they're building the sandcastles, he's like, isn't it funny how we still have the minds of like children that just want to play? I'm like, wait, which one is it? You're 50 years old now. God damn it.
Exactly. And
Like,
what took
which
you
one?
so long to look at your buddy's fucking secret note? Oh, you know what? I'm almost dead. Let me see what my buddy sent me. So he decodes a stupid thing about my uncle hates the coral.
And I didn't get that either. How did that little boy even know that? And
Exactly. How did the boy know that?
who's his uncle? Is it M. Night?
No, his
No, his
uncle is
uncle
the
was
main
the-
doctor.
Was it? Oh,
host.
that's his uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but
You're wrong.
wasn't mid-sized sedan on the beach the night
Forever.
before?
Yes.
So he should have been 1,000 years old when
Yeah,
they
but
saw
see-
him.
Fucking dead.
Here's the thing too about that. Is good point is that he should have told them already when they showed up. Like, who dropped you off? Why did they drop you? Why? Because I came here yesterday. I was 19 years old. Look at me now. I'm 42. Like,
He didn't look 42 because if he was, he looked goddamn good. 42.
No, I mean
Black don't crack.
the daughter recognized him as what'd you say?
mid-sized sedan. That's what I said.
All right, cool.
That's right. The daughter recognized him.
as a rapper, so like he didn't
Yeah.
age at all.
He
Like
didn't
you know-
age at all.
It maybe
Right.
it's-
And he was there overnight.
it could be something like it affects only some type of people. He didn't get affected by the rocks or anything like that. I don't know. It's reverse. Like he can't get sick. He didn't get sick. He didn't seem like nothing wrong
there
with him,
was
like you
that
said.
funny part where saying like, "Oh, you guys haven't aged at all," and he said something like to the psychiatrist lady, "Oh, this is the one time they wish they were black." She's like, "Mm-hmm,"
Yeah, yeah.
because
yeah.
black people don't age,
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
face and whatnot.
No, it's so people hearing this from so basically they go to the island as we're saying, they age really fast, basically age to death, basically within, I don't know, depends how old you are, I guess, right? Because the parents just die. Like the dad just falls dead on the beach when they're all together, the main family.
Oh, he fucking ran out of life, man.
And then the,
yeah, he was
dad-
one of the last survivors. So
It's just that he
Yeah,
didn't
so
look
don't
that-
judge him for
he
dying.
didn't look that old yet. And then the mom just started
he
walking
must have been in
towards
his
the
70s or
water.
80s, though, but he didn't look in his 80s for sure.
Yeah, and then the mom started walking back, collapses and dies when she walks back to the kids. And I'm like, how'd you know you're gonna die, bitch? And then you die within 5 minutes of walking to the water, going, oh nope, it's not good for me. I'm gonna go back. And
The other thing that I thought was stupid is when the nurse said, when they try to escape, they're passing out as they're trying to leave through the cave.
oh yeah, and they all wake up.
Right. So he told them, okay, so if we go slowly, the reason we're passing out is because we're not acclimating to the time change. It's going too fast. So if we go slowly, we should be able to make it out. If we take a few steps, stop, few steps, stop, few steps, stop. And then he asks, who's willing to do it? Because you're going to age 20 years just walking through this rock to the entrance, right? Nobody wants to do it. But yet those two stupid kids hung out until they were in their 50s. They would have aged a lot less if they just went through the damn exit, trying to get out, because they would have only aged 20 years as opposed to 45 years by waiting around, just sitting around.
How about the Asian guy that already aged 20 years and thought, I was a swimmer in high school. Let's do this. Like, why'd you wait so long?
I related to him the most because that's what I would have been like. I played basketball in high school, so I can easily
jump
and just fucking
jump
die.
over the coral.
Is that a skateboard over there? Is that a skateboard?
And
Bring
then-
it over.
And then the psychiatrist that took the noodles, I can do this. I'm like, I would have said, yeah, man, you
Oh,
go
yeah.
for it. You get out of here.
She took the swimming noodles, and I know my boyfriend just died, but
And he was on the swim team. But me,
yeah.
I can do this.
I can do
My
this.
people
I have
are
seizures
known
on
for
land, but
swimming,
never
right?
in the
No.
water.
Okay, so
Uh,
then after all that,
Right. So the beach is the phenomenon, right? Like the beach isn't like man-made. It's just a weird phenomenon that ages people quickly. The scientists, it's basically to test drugs. So you don't have to wait years for clinical trials. You could just give them this cocktail and then see if it works in one day as opposed to years.
40 years, whatever.
Yeah. And they send a bunch of people there. And you know what? If I would have, if
Yeah.
I would have gone, to this beach, what I would, when I figured out what was going on, I would have done one sit up and then just waited for my fucking abs to come out. Like the results are going to be just like that.
Really?
I would shoot an infomercial just on my phone. I mean, I'm gonna be dead soon, but fuck it.
Just jog the whole time for the first 30 minutes. What? Yeah, you non-stop for 30 minutes, baby. It's like 1 year working out. You'll be so skinny right now.
Like, oh no, kid, you'd be so ripped. You'd have like that runner's body, zero fat.
No one figured it out.
Just do one push up, and then I'll be posting videos like The Rock. Just went to the Iron Paradise.
Well, you can
do a set of push-ups. You do like 5 minutes of push-ups. That'll equal to what?
Oh,
6 months of working out.
1,000 years. Like, yeah, I haven't crunched the numbers, but
yeah,
that's what I would have done.
Yeah, if you break it, if a year's 30 minutes, what would you say? 30. So every 10 minutes is like every 4 months. It's 4 months worth. 10 minutes. So,
10 minutes working out.
and then just go, you know what? I'm gonna fast for 10 minutes. What? Yeah, don't worry about it.
But here's the thing. Here's the other thing that bothered me. The food lasted forever. For some reason. I don't know if it was because it was in those bags, those cooler bags. Remember how the kids' idea was to build some sort of metal tunnel that could hide into, maybe they won't penetrate. So maybe that has something to do with it. But not only that, for every minute they weren't eating, they were starving. They should have starved to death before they aged to death.
Remember, the parents
weren't eating or drinking.
The parents were saying how the kids just kept wanting to eat.
No, I know that because they were growing, but none of them did. None of them ate. Yeah. They should have starved to death. But
see, the flaw is this, right? So they're doing the research.
M. Night did it. Is what
they're doing the research away from the beach at the resort or whatever it is. It's clearly at the resort, and their research is on the coral. Apparently, they're using the coral to whatever. Like you said, the idea is, well, if we take you to this part of the beach and we give you the medicine, we'll wait 30 minutes, then take you back to the resort, and we'll see if it worked. Like that's it. That's all. Like explain it to them. Hey, we know you're sick. Like
they were doing.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's the flaw in the movie. They could have just told them, explained the research to them, and tell them how this part of the beach will speed up your process. All you're going to be there for is 30 minutes. Take this, and then boom.
What you're saying is really stupid, but it would fit in the movie, right?
Because that's the idea of the movie, right?
I mean, it would fit in the movie because, like, they just like at the end, for example.
Yeah.
Just goes up to the cop. Hi.
I know. So dumb.
You're a cop. Hey, okay, bye. And then like this cop is gonna be like, oh shit, I'm on vacation in Bermuda with no power of authority.
Yeah.
Let me make a couple calls. I'm like,
and then boom, all shut down, arrested.
Boom, all shut down. Everything like is figured out. Like nobody runs. Like
I know. How quickly did they get those warrants, man? That was super fast.
The way the movie ended was so dumb.
And because they're in the helicopter, and then the cop apparently is riding shotgun, and he's like, hey, does it feel weird? Oh yeah, we called her aunt, and she just had to get over the fact that we're 50 years old. I'd be like, if I were the aunt, I'd just hang up the phone. I'm like, all right, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you don't know shit at 6 years old. Don't ever bother me again. Like,
yeah, but I guess I said that's the flaw, right? Imagine if Johnny, you said you went to this resort, you have cancer or whatever it is. They just tell you, hey, actually, you know what? We have this part of the island where there's treatment. We can shoot you up with whatever the treatment they want to try. And for every 30 minutes, it equals a year. So it's like having the treatment for a whole year. And then we'll test you afterwards and see how it goes. Or be there for whatever, say a full hour. That way they can test you.
Well, that's true, because depending on your diagnosis, you could be dead within a year.
That's exactly right. So wouldn't it have made more sense to just do that, to tell them straightforward, like, hey, you have this issue, but we also have this experimental drug, and we also have this magic island. So you want to give it a shot.
And we have jet skis.
Yeah.
So,
parasailing.
Like, you ask that. Would you like this experimental drugs for your AIDS, sir? Or would you like the jet ski? Jet ski sounds fun. Sounds fun. How much an hour?
Here's how they could have fixed the movie. They could have made it, because they clearly sacrificed healthy people. Simply could have made this place a singles resort, and still could have made it the way they did it, where they are, targeting the sick. Because, if you're a single guy or a single girl and you're, oh man, I'm going to die, blah, 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 or I might be dying. And all of a sudden, hey man, take this trip. Doesn't cost nothing, blah, blah. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take one more big hurrah before I go out. Something Just make it a singles resort.
Well, I don't think
you don't have to sacrifice these people.
I don't think it could have. Doesn't even have to be a
I see a
singles
problem
resort.
in that.
I think the family could the whole family can go, and they could just tell the mother and the family, hey, when your mom's gonna come with us for 2 hours for the treatment she signed up for.
No, I know, but shut up, because no one's gonna go, hey, we're gonna take your mom for 2 hours. Then she's gonna age 50 years. No,
2 hours is not 50 years. It's 2 years.
If it's a single resort, go ahead, Johnny. You said you had a problem. You saw a problem in it.
Yeah, if you make it a singles resort, I mean, like the only way it would work is if you take one person at a time. Because if it's singles resort, then all of a sudden you can't test your medicines because everyone's dying of AIDS and fucking herpes and shit. Because they're just gonna be fucking like crazy.
Herpes. yeah, that chlamydia got him.
You don't know. You don't know, man. That shit ages like when that guy got stabbed with a rusty knife.
Oh yeah.
I loved the way his wife died. She was like she fucking popped her shoulder, like throwing a rock at the kids, and the kids just kept lighting matches. I just want to keep seeing. I'm like, motherfucker, run! Get your stupid 6-year-old ass up and run. But then they just watched the chick, what they say, her shoulder didn't set properly, so now they're she's all fucked up.
The rest of her looked like a pretzel. It was so stupid.
I thought that was hilarious.
So dumb.
Again,
she kept twisting. She kept twisting. And every time she hit something, she'd break something. Do you have osteoporosis? What happened to you?
You know what? I was wondering. Like, they didn't show the dog dying, and
he just died.
Yeah, he just died. But I felt like they left that out on purpose because like people love dogs, and it like brings down ratings or whatever. As far as the viewership.
PETA was going to get involved.
No. I'm just saying, like, because I've listened to other like podcasts of like movie celebrities, and they would always talk about like, oh yeah, we screened this movie here, and this is where the horse died or the dog died, and the audience hated it, so we shot it again, and then this time the horse or the dog doesn't die, and everything works out fine. I feel like this was one of those things. Like, I could be wrong. I just like you're showing me all this other shit. You're showing me this crazy chick whose like bones are settling the wrong way and she turns into a pretzel, but you're not showing me the dog dying. I just thought that was
about the dog.
Well, clearly they didn't test run Never-Ending Story.
How do we know?
Sure.
How about what if it didn't work on the dog? He ran back into the cave and just like, fuck him out of here.
I know, right? Like,
yeah, it could have been that. It could have been.
Again,
the flaw is just that. Like, what was the point of the? Here's the thing too. What was the point of the them doing the research? I didn't understand it when they went back to they showed them back in the lab and they're giving the stats. Okay, well, this person died this and that. I'm like, what was your point of your research? Because it seems like you've been doing this over and over. You didn't inject them with anything. There's nothing you gave them.
Well, this was only test subject 73, right? So they've only done it 73 times. So they've apparently only done it for like a month and a half, right?
No, I know, but 73 times without any type of actual.
Well, they did. They found a cure for seizures. That lady lived in a day's time. She lived 40 years, and in 40 years, she didn't have one seizure. Didn't you hear the guy at the end?
But what was
they're going to release this medicine?
No, they gave her some medicine, and then she just doesn't have seizures anymore.
No.
Right,
Did
so
they give her something?
So for 40 years, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, they gave her something at the resort after her first seizure.
Yeah.
So she was the only real test subject.
No, they
were all test subjects, but they were all just tested different medicines for what they had, because they clearly knew what they had.
Okay,
what bothered me about that is the mom with the tumor.
Yeah,
they didn't know if it was benign or not. They just figured, well, she got a tumor, and then when they pulled it out, she was fine. So apparently, it was benign.
Them pulling it out was entertaining. Just make another cut. Oh shit, it healed. Make another cut. Oh shit, like the tumor was the size of a football. It was
yeah. Okay, well,
and then like the rest of the insides are just okay.
They're fine, perfectly fine.
Pulling out a tumor is really easy, and then I think I'm gonna be a doctor now. Just
yeah. Well,
and
all you need is a pocket knife, man.
You know how
pocket knife and some vodka.
You know, M. Night likes to do twists. And this movie's twist was just so stupid.
This movie didn't really have a twist, though.
The twist was what was the point of the island? Like, you're watching it not knowing anything. But the twist was that it's all about medical research. You're like, that's the fucking twist.
But that's not really a twist, because Anamika Resort was just a cover for the medical research.
Yeah, for the island. I mean, for that part exactly.
I wouldn't even call it a twist. That just explains why they were using the island or the beach. They didn't really. I wouldn't call it a twist. Not like some of the other movies, like The Village.
Maybe the twist was the cop arresting all of them. Maybe the twist was when the credits rolled and we're like, oh, thank God. Shitty fucking movie, that's for sure.
Let's rate it.
Should we?
No, I don't think it deserves numbers, but
here's a twist. It's a twist. I'm not giving it a number. I'm not giving it a number.
I'm gonna give it a
letter.
I mean, I'll give it a 1 because it's a movie. I mean, they accomplished that. It's a movie.
The rating is above or below, above the game or below the game.
Oh,
wow. This is below the game.
Oh,
I mean, here's the sad part too. It's not even that far below it. It's really not that far below the game. I mean, like the thing about this movie, to be honest, at least it kept me going. Where's this going? Even though it was bad, I was like, where's it going? This is bad, but like, it better be good where it goes. Where the game didn't have me going that at all. The game was just like, just please don't be this stupid. Just stop falling for dumb shit. I mean, you have to give the movie that. I'm pretty sure you guys felt the same. Where you're like, this is so bad, but where's it going? Like, what's it going to lead to? And it led to a bunch of arrests.
Well, you clearly knew where it was. You clearly knew who was going to survive.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you knew that, but you still don't know necessarily where it was heading to. You didn't get any vibe of research as you're watching it.
No, not until the end where M. Night was up on the hilltop.
Oh,
Yeah.
that part I forgot. Yeah. So he's doing all the recording of data and whatnot, and then he's on the phone. I looked at the water for a minute and a half. Maybe make it 2 minutes, you dumb fuck. Like.
No,
maybe make it 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck is your rush?
Because a minute's like 3 weeks. So
not for him.
Not for him
because he's not on the beach.
It's not.
What you couldn't just wait 5 minutes. You couldn't just smoke a cigarette and just wait and then see if any bodies come up.
He was late for his lunch break.
You know what else is messed up too? You would think if they have that part of the beach where we take it to this private, they'd have cabanas out there. Like, make it nice. They're gonna die. Give them a little something to enjoy. But you can't have food out there because it'll spoil real fast.
It didn't spoil though.
Remember, I'm saying if you had food there, I mean, like
food's not alive. Yeah, that's it.
So
everything times though. Everything
a macaroni salad will last 40 years because apparently it lasts 20 years at least.
You know the beach only attacks
too
living people. They don't attack potatoes and macaroni salad.
But would the beach corrode? Would it even be there if the time?
Fucking no, you're asking to answer questions about a stupid ass movie.
Just saying.
Yes.
I'll give a realistic fucking read like things.
Why wouldn't the beach be there? You're gonna separate. It's gonna separate and.
The water just keeps running up because time runs so fast.
If I was the evil doctor, I would be like, you know what? I can explain everything, Mr. Officer. Here, just come down to the beach. Yeah. And then I'm like, no, don't do it. And like these people are retarded. You can distract those new.
You know what's really cool though? You think about it this way: repurpose the beach as a prison. Oh, and then tell everybody,
anybody serving a life,
anybody that survives for a day, anybody that survives they're good to go.
Holy shit! You figured it out.
We just made a better movie.
Wait. The title: Old School.
Old School. That's right. Doing time.
You know when they decided to
OG
by the beach,
it's going to be called OG.
Oh yeah,
because there's prisoners OG. Fuck, that's gonna be a great movie. M. Night.
No,
that's $20.
If
after
you're listening, Zack Snyder. We need it to be at least 5 hours.
But here's the thing too: when they went in the helicopter to go look at the beach, for one, why did you go look at the beach?
I didn't get that either.
For two, it's a good thing they didn't get closer because that helicopter would have just fallen apart, right?
No, the gas. As you noticed, the guy's like, the gas is running really low.
No, but the parts would have started falling apart, right? The hoses would have started corroding, and shit just because the helicopter's getting older.
No, but everything didn't age like that.
Not everything aged that way.
Yeah,
but they didn't get that.
You're not an archaeologist, okay? You don't know.
I'm a paleontologist. Mm-hmm. I study fossils. All right.
How about the first person we saw that died? She was probably the best part of the movie.
The chick? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
We can all mourn, right?
What was his name? Mid-size. What was his name?
Mid-size sedan.
Mid-size sedan. So this girl apparently is his girlfriend, right?
No,
he met her at the resort.
She just wanted to hook up with him, and then
they hook up with her. Yeah.
The way it made it sound is like he made it to the beach. He just like stumbled upon it. Which
No, but he was sick though.
he has some sort of blood thing,
Yeah, he was
couldn't
also
clot.
sick.
It
and
wouldn't
he
clot
just
because
didn't. It required you to not wipe your nose if it's bleeding. Like just wipe
because
your fucking
they
nose.
talked about him at the end in the research lab, about the clotting. But what about the girl? The girl had something too, though.
Yeah, the fucking too
She
hot.
did.
She
She
was
had
too
boobs?
fucking hot.
She did a lot of
She's too good
squats.
looking.
She was too good looking.
No, but she did. He said that. He did bring that up, that she also had an issue too.
She had something.
I forgot what it was.
But
Movie sucked. Pass up on old. Pass up on any movie that guy makes, man. Anything. Holy shit, he's bad. God
You
damn.
know
didn't he
what?
try to do a TV series once?
It's on Apple TV.
Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah. Season 2, I think, has already come out. Yeah.
What's
I
it
think he's the
called?
producer,
The
though.
shit list.
He's the producer. He's not, when like he gives all the ideas, and then when he goes to film his movies, they just change everything up. But anyway, there you go. Old. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, which is good for you. But
Yeah, you
old,
can
but
rent it on YouTube.
You do not rent this.
old
There's-
by M. Night Shyamalan.
You heard
something.
everything you need to know. If you still want to watch the movie, then just unsubscribe to our podcast.
Go to
because
the
you're
island.
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. I'm telling you not to watch this shit. I lost an hour and a half of my life, or
Wow, 3 hours. I
Or-
mean, 3 years. 3 years.
yeah.
Wow, pretty good. All right, we'll take a break here on Nurse Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, my name is Jamie,
My name is Ryan,
and we have a podcast called Stories, the True.
and the fictional.
We talk about stories in the movies,
Stories in books,
stories from history,
and stories from Crazy Joe down the street.
but we also talk to the storytellers,
The authors, the filmmakers.
everyday folk with a story to tell.
If this sounds like your kind of thing,
Then check out Stories, the True
and the fictional.
on Apple Podcasts.
And Spotify.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, download, review, turn on notifications, tell your friends every Friday, new episode of Nerds Talking the Podcast. And of course, this Friday is the Batman Day.
That's
Where you-
today.
That's right. We are going to all view it this coming week, so we'll talk about it shortly. Of
I don't
course,
know if we all will.
Well, maybe, some people have some lame ass excuses, but it's
I already
all
saw
good.
it, but I'll wait for you guys to see it.
We will talk about it in the next episode. Probably, we'll find out.
We'll
the
see.
Batman.
I
Check-
think you
yeah.
should give our listeners
2 weeks.
a chance to watch it.
Because you want to spoil it for him.
Well, like with Spider-Man.
Oh, you know what? It's fine because we can't talk about it next week anyway.
Why?
If
We
our
have
guests
guests
show up with
on
two hot
for next
wives,
week. Yes,
I don't think
yes,
we'll be
yes,
reviewing
yes,
the
yes.
Batman during that show.
But go check out the Batman this weekend. There you go. That's the biggest movie probably until Doctor Strange, which is
Do you think it's
May
going to be
April
bigger than
6th,
Spider-Man?
May?
Ooh.
I think the downside to this movie is that it's long, almost 3 hours. So I don't know. People will return to see it over and over, like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was how
Well, I
long?
think-
two hours.
Well, with 2.5 hours. With Spider-Man, people were going in there with the hopes of seeing Toby and Andrew. There was a lot to look forward to for the old Spider-Man fans. Batman is just another Batman movie.
How dare you? How dare you?
So you don't think it's going to be as good as or big as Spider-Man?
I don't think it'll
office-wise?
break Spider-Man's box office record. No, I don't think so.
I agree.
I think it's going to make $1 billion, but it's not going to break Spider-Man. But man, it looks phenomenal. But then again, I've already seen it, so I can't say anything about it.
Are you talking future tense too? Is this
You
the
don't
beach?
know, I can't tell you.
This is a
It's the
podcast
beach.
beach.
This is the beach. This is the old podcast. No, it's not an old episode. It's new. All right, let's move on to a movie that we don't know why they made it, but this is the 5th iteration of it. Scream 5.
Oh,
Yep, there you go. That's the review. Scream 5, which I don't understand how it got good reviews. I went on Rotten Tomato and had like a score of like 75 or something. And I was like, how? Who? What? If you've seen Scream, I think it might be 2 or 3, where the premise is basically somebody's trying to copycat the murders from the first movie. I don't know if it was part 3. May have been 3.
2?
It's for some reason it's 2 as well. Basically, it's the same movie, exact same movie. That's it. No joke. 2 people decide to copycat the very first movie because they're so infatuated with
the
being-
movie Stab, right?
the movie Stab, which is basically Scream, because basically what
Yeah.
they did is they turned Nev
Sydney's
Campbell's
story
character
into a
into a movie series called Stab. So they're obsessed with Stab and they want to recreate it. They also think they're gonna be like social media famous, this, that, and this, blah, blah, blah. It's literally the same movie as maybe Johnny said part 2, where just two stupid teenagers are trying to recreate fucking Scream. That's the movie. Literally, it's horrible. It's not good. The Skeet Ulrich scenes are hilariously bad.
Well, no, when I saw, I'm like, damn, Skeet, looking good, buddy, looking good. You didn't age one bit.
Well, you could tell he was wearing a lot of makeup. They try to make him look young. How would she see her dad? How?
Why don't you just tell me the scene? Because I don't have any intentions of watching this movie.
Well, you remember the original Scream?
Yeah,
Okay,
I remember Skeet.
Skeet, yeah, okay.
Skeet.
And
So
Shaggy,
Skeet's-
whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So
that guy's
Skeet's
name.
daughter is the main character this time in the movie.
Okay.
And
But she doesn't know who her dad is. That's until later. She doesn't figure it
yeah.
out till later
She
in
figures
life.
out till late. She never knows who he is, but she
So
keeps
how she's seeing him is
she keeps seeing him in the mirror, and like he says, does he talk to her or some shit?
he
I don't know.
talks
One
to her.
scene
He wants her
does,
to start killing people.
yeah. And
So she
thinks
takes pills to drop, fight this
Yeah.
shit.
and she thinks it's like being a murderer is passed down.
Like it's hereditary.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Like,
hereditary.
he's got blue eyes and he's a murderer.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's my
Exactly.
Yeah, and she's never met her father.
I didn't get the blue,
She has
I
no
didn't get
clue
the
what he
blue
looks
eyes,
like.
but I'm gonna kill people.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
So she's a murderer.
No, she's not. That's the thing.
not.
She's not.
Oh.
Her boyfriend is just like in the original one, where the main character's boyfriend is the murderer, and then another high school kid that's a friend
Is
of
that his sister? Is that a half sister? What was that? I didn't even know who that girl was in relation to the boyfriend.
No, it wasn't her sister at all.
How they
No,
know
they're-
each other?
They just know each other. They're not. It's not a sister.
Well,
at all.
because the girl's family bought Sydney's house.
yes,
So she got obsessed with Sydney and the stab thing.
yes,
And she became best friends with the sisters, with the girl's sister.
yes, on purpose.
And that was her first victim.
Yep.
She survived. She gets stabbed like 7 or 9 times.
Yeah. I don't know how she survived.
Ends
I
up
don't
in
get
the
it.
hospital. She survived. But while in the hospital, she's sitting there. She's just chatting. I mean, I don't know about you, but even when I go to the dentist, my face is hurting. After everything wears off, I'm like done for the day. I'm like, don't bother me. But she's stabbed 7 or 9 times. She's chilling in the hospital bed, like she just got like her fingernails clipped or something. Like that's why she was there.
Okay,
She's
first,
not sore at all. She's talking. She's moving. She's running. I'm like, what the? Fuck?
let's talk about the hospital scene real quick, okay? Where Dewey dies, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just talk.
Poor
Johnny,
Dewey.
you've been to a hospital. Let's say you've been to a hospital at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Let's say you've been there at 2, 4, 7, 8. Doesn't matter what time. There's always a ton of people working. There's night nurses or staff at the desk. There's security. A hospital has people. This hospital had one patient and no employees. And this guy in the Scream costume could run around anywhere he wanted. Clearly, nobody was working that night. They gave everybody the night off. They had one patient. And Dewey showed up.
She did kill the cop on guard.
He was the only employee.
So there was 2 people in the building. It was the cop and the girl.
It was so stupid. Dewey shooting his gun. There's fights breaking out. There's people running through the hallways with blood, and there's nobody to be seen. Oh, and there's no lights on. What hospital was this? What was this a nightmare? And she was like, this was a Freddy Krueger thing. Like,
And apparently in Woodsboro, medical help is not priority.
and where is Woodsboro? Because they keep bringing up that it's close to Modesto.
It must be close. That's where she was living for a while. The main character.
And I don't know what Modesto this is. I assume it's California.
Yeah, it is.
But-
It's
Okay.
Modesto, California.
Okay. So
Johnny's gonna Google Woodsboro. Go ahead.
this movie was
Nah,
so
I don't think I
bad.
want to
It
waste
was
my
so
Google stuff
bad.
on this.
I still didn't understand. I went to Rotten Tomato just so I can read some reviews, and people were saying, "Oh, it's one of the best. It's the second best one." All these like high profile critics, and I'm like, "What the fuck did you watch?"
Well,
Did you
Rotten
not-
Tomatoes is a little biased, and you can review movies even before they come out. Like I've seen Rotten Tomatoes like, oh, this movie looks great, and 5 stars.
Well, we also know there's a guy that lives local to you guys. That's a movie critic, that's paid to give good reviews.
Oh, Mark S. Allen.
Mark S. Allen. He's actually paid to give good reviews.
Yep. No matter
So
how bad the movie
how do
is.
we know this? Before we
Because Howard
sully
Stern,
the name of
Howard
Marcus
Stern
Allen.
called him out on it.
He
Howard
did.
Stern called him
Yep.
out on it. Yep.
I forgot the movie, but the
It
movie
a-
was
it
so
a Rob
bad.
Schneider movie.
Yeah, it was
It was a
so
Rob Schneider
bad.
movie.
It's
And I
not
think-
prison, is it? Or the jail one?
One of those Deuce Bigelows, I think.
All I
But
know
yeah,
is
Howard was so pissed off. He
Yeah.
spent like 15 minutes just ripping on Marcus Allen. He's one of the guys the studio just pays to give
Yep.
reviews.
and I remember
he
watching
definitely
him.
is.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I
The
remember
studio
watching
pays
him on this Good Day Sacramento show, whatever, and I forgot what movie it was. It was a really bad movie. Like it was like one of the shittiest movies ever. And for the 10 minutes of him reviewing it, this is one of the best movies of all year. You have to see it. It's so good. It's great. And when he does this shit, so he can do the press tours and he can meet all the actors and say he met them all and kiss their ass, and then he
Well,
gives
he's going
a
to
good
do that anyway
review.
because he's press.
Well, I know, but what
But
I'm
he gets
saying
paid
is,
more money by the studio.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
sure the
yeah.
studio gives him some sort of
oh,
I don't
kickback
know,
for
red
sure.
carpet, kickback,
100%.
whatever.
He gets a kickback 100% because he's had his quotes on like DVD boxes. You know what I mean?
yeah, and movie
So,
posters and
yeah,
newspaper ads and
Huh.
yeah.
And this is the type of movie Marcus Allen would go, you remember the first Scream? The best one since, maybe better than that. I'm like, dude, really? Like, and here's the other bad part about this movie. This is probably the third Scream that started off with the phone call in the house. The exact same bullshit again. It's the same shit over and over. You cannot do this movie different. You can't, unless you do it in like an apartment complex. You know what I mean? It has to be a total different environment. It has to be some really effed up shit. Like it has to be totally different. You can't just keep doing the same shit. Here's two teenagers that kill their friends because they want to be famous, just like the first fucking movie. Like,
Well, in the hospital scene, Dewey shoots this person.
numerous times.
Yeah, but she was smart enough to bring a bulletproof vest. Where a teenager picked up a bulletproof vest, beyond me.
It's surprisingly not difficult to get.
But I don't see.
You get me
Was
one?
that the girl?
If you want
What-
one,
hey, was that the
don't trust me
girl?
if it's gonna work.
Well, that-
You're gonna fucking show up on my doorstep. Hey, look at this hole right here.
Why you give me a used one, bro? Why you give me a used-
It was anyway. My review of that movie.
Well, hold on.
also. Oh, go ahead.
Slow down there,
Mm.
cowboy. So the man girl gets stabbed by the boyfriend because he wanted to be the one to kill her, right? So now she has a stab wound. The knife must have been at least 6 inches long.
How did she survive? I know.
And then Courtney Cox's character got shot in the abdomen. Sydney also got stabbed. So at the end of the movie, it's all wrapped up. The two villains are dead. The main girl shoots. Oh, the main girl actually slashes the shit out of her boyfriend because her dad told her to.
Yep.
Her dad gave her a nod.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. In the
It's
mirror
time
also.
to take over the
Uh-huh.
family business.
Yeah.
And so she slashes the shit out of him.
So dumb.
Then she grabs the gun and shoots him in the head because you always got to shoot him in the head or they'll come back to life. That's what Dewey said. That's why he got killed.
That was from the first movie. Remember?
Like,
Sure.
did Dewey die?
Dewey's dead.
Yeah, Dewey got fucked
Dewey's
up.
dead. And here's a fucked up thing. Johnny, I've seen your house. I know you make good money. You're not the sheriff. You're a deputy, right?
Yep.
Dewey was the sheriff of Woodsboro. Dewey retired and was living in a shit ass trailer with no food in his refrigerator, drinking alcohol.
Yep.
Why? I'm guessing the pension's pretty goddamn good. Why are you living in a trailer, buddy? Let's get off that for a second now. So now this girl, everything's wrapped up at the end. Cops are there. Oh, the Woodsboro police are the worst police in the world because one
Have
of
you
their
seen Police
own
Academy?
calls them and tells them. One of their own calls them and tells them, everybody converge on my house. The killer is at my house. So she gets there. She's running to the front door. Right before she gets to the front door, the killer steps out and stabs her. Then the killer goes into the house and kills the son. And this whole time, the cops never showed up, even though she called them to show up. And she was in her cruiser. Why she didn't go into the house with a gun in her hand is beyond me, or a shotgun, or an assault rifle, because I know those things are in cruisers. But at the end of the movie, the girl who got stabbed, all she has is an ace bandage around her stomach, and she's walking around. Courtney is sitting on the bumper of an ambulance. She's got a bullet in her, but she's just sitting there chatting with Sydney. Sydney got stabbed. She's just sitting there with the blanket over her.
No,
What?
the worst one was the main
What kind of medical
character.
attention is this?
Because when the main character got stabbed in the stomach, the guy kept twisting the knife.
Oh, he twisted it once. He did. He twisted
But even that, I thought,
and
okay,
pulled it
her
out.
stomach is fucked up. Like he
Oh,
put a
yeah.
fucking hole in it. He fucking serrated it, and he
No,
pulls the
she's gonna
knife
have
out.
one of those What is it?
colostomy bags forever.
Yeah, she's gonna have one of
But
those
no,
for
you know what she
sure.
needed? Just one of those things you buy to wrap your ankle before a basketball game. Put it around your stomach. You're good to go, kid. Get out of here. Go,
What's that
So, wait,
spray?
does-
What's that
does-
spray?
go, kid. Go get some of the murderers for us, kid. Get out of here.
Eat a Shaquille O'Neal icy hot commercial. You been stabbed? Rub this shit on your stab wound.
It's the
Um,
dumbest shit, man.
Does Sydney address the fact that the girl is Skeet's daughter?
Yes.
I mean, Sydney's not in it that much. Maybe 20 minutes.
Hmm.
She's
Here's
not
the
in it
funny
that
thing.
much.
It seemed like she lived on the East Coast. It looked like she lived in New York. And then when Dewey died, Courtney Cox's character, I can't remember her name. Oh, is it Gail? It's Gail, right?
Yeah.
So Gail is sitting in the waiting room for some reason. Dewey's already dead. I don't know why she's there. But anyway, I'm going to guess no more than a half hour goes by. Sydney walks into the waiting room. I came as soon as I heard. Who the fuck told you, for one? And what kind of plane were you on that you got from the East Coast to the West Coast in 20 minutes?
You know, I kind of got that she was in LA.
I thought she was on the, just because of her, she looked like she was like running in Central Park. That's what the atmosphere looked like.
Yeah. I kind of got it.
But even if she was in LA,
I
LA
mean-
to the fictional town of Woodsboro, what would be the closest airport?
Is
Like Modesto.
Woodsboro.
Modesto doesn't have an airport.
Woodsboro is an hour from Modesto, according to the movie. Is it north or south?
I don't know.
It
Does
doesn't
San Francisco, but even if
Because-
San Francisco was the closest airport, it's gonna take you more than 20 minutes to get off the goddamn plane and then rent a car and then drive to Woodsboro.
I mean,
That's
doesn't
your
really
problem with
matter.
this movie?
No, my
I
problem-
know, right? I know. That's the part he picks out. Time
That
travel.
is not the part I picked out. If you can clearly hear, if you can rewind the podcast 15 seconds at a time or 30 seconds at a time, you will hear there's a lot to pick with this movie. This is below the game.
Oh yeah,
bold
it
statement.
is.
Bold
it is.
statement.
It's below the game because it's recycled and it's poorly recycled.
And it's ridiculousness.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And there's only what, maybe 4 victims, 5 at most in the movie.
Is it setting up for
It sets up for another one.
parts? Yeah, because
No, not really.
It
well,
does.
I mean, like
How?
It does.
this whole
Well,
time,
because-
if the daughter is having flashbacks of her
Psychosis.
serial
Yeah.
killer father,
That she didn't know he was.
right? Then
and that's-
eventually that's going to come up
Yeah,
in
yeah,
another
yeah.
scream.
Well, here's another part too, though. She tells her sister, which is her half sister, after she got stabbed, she's sitting in the hospital bed and she tells her, there's something I need to tell you. My dad is so and so. Then all of a sudden, the sister gets super mad. Get out. Get out. I'm like, why are you telling her to get out? She didn't stab you.
Like
And
it's
it's
like,
not
but
her
I think
fault
that
who her
was
dad is.
I think that was what was supposed to be played up of that she is the killer. Like the sister thought, get the hell out of here. Like this is all new type of bullshit. But
But the
you
way
could
they
do
set
a
it up
sequel.
for-
Sure.
Well, the way they set it up for another one is at the end of the movie when she's walking past the police car, her reflection, her dad's standing behind her.
No, I know, but
And then right as it fades to black, there's a real quick flash
Yeah,
of the scream guy with a knife in his hand, like wiping the blood off the knife. or
I saw
something.
that part. It's so stupid. But again, a sequel would be good if you did it again. You do it totally different where she's an actual serial killer. Where I think it'd be like, again, do it cool where it's more of a gritty movie in an apartment complex. You know, the enclosed apartment complexes, kind of like a New York style.
It'd be
Or-
better if it was like a
know.
Seven or something, a total crime detective figure the shit
Yeah.
out.
Where, but I mean, she's not gonna run around with that stupid costume. I mean, it's so
No,
stupid.
it's
I think
so
there's an
dumb.
opportunity here. I think the Wayans brothers should get back
Oh,
together
fuck. You know what?
and
You
do
God
scary
damn it.
movie.
Oh, not 7, 8, whatever it is. they're
I
on.
mean, it's been so long.
Well, this movie's been so long too. You might as well, throw some shit against the wall.
I'm just saying, there's a window.
Fuck. Next
So
time,
you
just
take the Wayans brothers, you take
Uh-huh.
M. Night, you take the guy who made this last.
Put him on the
movie,
island.
Put him on that fucking beach.
yeah. Put them on the fucking
Put 'em
island.
on the fucking beach and show them their movies. And they're like, oh, I spent my whole life watching my own movies and they fucking suck.
Yeah. I mean, man, Old has a good premise now with the whole like prisoner thing, and
That'd be
Scream.
so much better. If that
The
was
sequel
real.
to Scream 2, where you just make her a crazy serial killer. But no one wants more Scream. It's done. The first one was so good. We're done. Over. Caputo.
Did you ever watch the last Halloween?
Mm-mm.
The
Isn't another
oh,
one
the
coming out
latest
soon?
one.
The latest
Latest
one.
I did. Yeah, I did.
How was it?
Same old shit.
Yeah.
Literally the same old shit. Nothing new. Same old shit. The best part was the neighbors surround Michael Myers and beat the living shit out of him. That was the best part. Yeah. But same old shit. It's hard to do those movies because he cannot die, which is that's why they're so dumb. They don't explain that.
Who can't die? Jamie
Michael
Lee Curtis
Myers
or Michael Myers?
Oh. It's like, why you keep making these then there really is no end point to these movies. It's like Freddy, it's like Jason movies. Why keep making basically the same shit over and over when we know he cannot die? How? We don't know. We don't understand the complexity of why this man cannot be killed. Because he drowned, people laughed at him because he's a retarded little boy or something. I don't fucking know, man. Was that water contaminated? How he should be more of like a military thing, you know?
He's a devil's child, man.
I don't know.
Oh no shit, right? Put a uniform on him, give him a couple stripes, just point. That guy, right?
That's what I mean. Hey,
him and
you see that guy with the thing on his head? He laughed at you at the lake.
See the guy riding a horse with no shirt on? That guy.
He looks at you. Jason looks at you and thinks we're in the desert. There's no fucking lake here. No, he was there. Get him. And that guy too. And that guy too. Ooh, that guy looks pretty bad.
Dude, I would totally watch that movie.
You get these killers as military.
100%, I would watch
Jason
that movie.
Voorhees and Mike Myers running their own platoon. Absolutely.
He's just on a tank fucking running people over, but no one ever taught me how to drive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you blow them up. They always just go back together and go right back at it.
That's right. And if any villain gets away, if they're having nightmares while they get awake, fucking Freddy.
The president gets the report. How's the report on Voorhees? Well, he did kill 47 terrorists, but also 27 children. That's war. That's
collateral damage.
Collateral damage.
This paperwork is terrible.
How's Myers doing? Much better. He's only killed 7 children and 37 terrorists. All right, Myers doing pretty good.
He keeps looking for his sister. We keep telling him she's there.
She's there. She's there. She's hiding from you. Just keep looking at her. So stupid. I want to see the version where Voorhees stumbles into a hockey game and all of a sudden he's the goalie.
He's a goalie. He's like the best goalie. He's like cutting pucks in half with the machete, and they always have to replace the puck.
He's cutting players at the ankles, getting 5-minute penalties. That's all he gets.
No, that'd be fine. Would he be able to skate though? It'd be easy to get away from him, but he can't skate.
Anyway, Scream sucks.
Jason
That's what we're getting at. Scream is horrible. Skip it. Don't watch it. Even if you're a fan of Scream, it's a piece of shit.
I was looking forward to this one because the previews looked good. I liked the original Scream, but man, it was a shit film.
I mean, when's the last movie that you were sold on the previews where you walked out going, "Oh my god,
Spider-Man"?
What a bunch of no, you weren't. You were sold. You sold a false bag of goods. You know what I mean?
Scream.
I mean, well, for you, but prior to Scream, because I was the same way with Scream. When I showed previews, like, man, well, I might want to go to the movies and watch this. This actually looks like a new Scream. Looks pretty good.
You know what? The last time for me was G.I. Joe, the first one. The preview was just, because of the nostalgia. And then when I watched it, I kept telling myself, no, that was good, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. I was the same way with Batman versus Superman. I walked out going, you tricked me
the
good.
First one, right? Because the extended one.
No, either way, because
the preview, I saw that preview at San Diego Comic-Con,
and all the preview was them fighting each other. We're like, yeah, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, Doomsday showed up, Wonder Woman showed up. She with you? I thought she was with you.
Yeah. They showed all the good parts.
So good.
Yeah, and then movie sucked hard. Oh well. All right. Well, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Have you ever found yourself reading the Wikipedia synopsis of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because you're too scared to watch it for yourself, but you're just so curious? What about The Conjuring?
In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to reveal yourself!
I can't even imagine how anyone can watch this movie.
Each week on Too Scary Didn't Watch, we recap horror films for all the scaredy cats out there, with help from special guests like armchair experts Monica Padman.
The Ring is the movie that I remember being like, I can hardly contain, I'm so scared.
A funny feeling host, Betsy Sidaro.
It's my favorite thing to just scream horror movie plots at people.
We love it. It's our favorite thing too.
It's so much fun.
New episodes of Too Scary Didn't Watch are released every Wednesday and are available wherever you get your podcasts or at tooscarydidn'twatch.com.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast, here with Johnny and Carlos, and I'm Lafayette. We've reviewed 2 movies that we recommend you never watch in your lifetime. Now we're on to two more musicals. We watch musicals. We are a bunch of sissy boys.
Sissy boy.
Yeah. So West Side Story, which actually just came out on Disney Plus, so you can watch it.
Did it
by
really?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And West Side Story was originally released in, was it the 60s, the first movie? Someone can look that up. But it, of course, is based on the Broadway musical West Side Story. It is basically a modern version. When I say modern, of course, I'm talking about the 1950s. Was it the 50s or the 40s? Couldn't really tell. 50s, right? Had to be the 50s.
It looks like, yeah, I'm going to say 50s.
It's basically Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
And you should be familiar with West Side Story. Maybe you're not. I remember seeing it as a kid in school. They showed that movie to us.
They really?
It was enjoyable. I remember the original 60s version. I was like, oh, it's pretty good. You know, I mean, it fit, everything fit, right? Because of course the time frame fit the movie still. Everything kind of felt like it was still modern to that time when it was made. Johnny, you got some info there? Nothing.
No, I mean, I could tell you the first one was 1961, but who gives a
Perfect.
shit?
No, that's what I want to know.
Oh,
The first one was 1961.
okay.
I remember seeing it also as a play. In elementary, we took to the Sacramento Playhouse, and they showed it. It was good. I was like, okay, this is fun. Sure, the Jets versus the
Sharks.
And then Steven Spielberg decided, you know what? Today's modern society, young crowd need to see this movie again. And I'm not gonna change a
How was he
thing.
wrong?
I'm not even gonna change one thing. You know what I'm gonna do this time? I'm gonna make it an hour longer. And
With that voice, was that Steven Spielberg?
that's how he talks.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg, and I make Indiana Jones.
I
make E.T. So he gave us an updated version,
But
a
it's
more
not
realistic,
updated, right? Because
It's not updated. It's
still
longer.
based
That's it.
in those
the 50s.
times.
So based. When I say updated, if you watch the original was very much a play, meaning a lot of pastel colors, very bright, way more not as serious. I mean, this movie tries to take itself so serious, the new Spielberg one. But good Lord, that opening scene ruined the whole entire movie. You got to admit. It just ruined the whole entire
I almost wanted to stop it. I almost
my
wanted
God.
like, no, I can't do another 2 hours and 20 minutes of this shit. It was ridiculous.
My God. What was that we saw at the beginning? Like they're all hanging out of look like a construction yard, right? To open the scene. And
And they start stealing the paint from like, I don't know where they even got why is there even paint there? Like I have no idea. The gallon cans. It didn't make no sense.
this gang does. That's the Jets, right?
Jets. They
It's
can
the
get
Jets.
anything.
And then they go on a rampage in the city. They
In
just
little
disrupt
Puerto
society.
Rico or whatever. Yeah.
They talk about a riot. Talk about call the cops. Here comes a gang of 60 young men prancing in the street, dancing in choreography, singing music. And I love how everybody around them looks so fucking confused. And
Me too, man. A bunch of dudes started dancing and started wrecking your shop. I'm like, what is happening right now?
And then they
Is
were
this
like
a flash mob? What's going on?
and it was all choreographed, really like
Oh my god.
choreographed to the point where the dances weren't cool. They were very
They snapped their fingers the whole time.
Oh, but just the pirouetting and the flipping. And then when they got to like one of the crosswalks, they stopped so the black people could cross and they gave them dirty looks. But the black people were just so fucking confused. Like, we just saw you guys prance 3 blocks this way, dancing and singing. Are you like, were you kicked out of the cheerleading team? Like, what are you guys? You're not a gang. It was the beginning was hilarious. It was like, this is too much. This is what he's going to give us for 2.5 hours. And he did. He basically gave us 2.5 hours of that.
Man, and the leader of the Jets, I could have swore they should have cast French Stewart in that role. This guy was the worst. And just the voice that he was doing too. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. He was
Kidding me
so
right
trying, so hard to give you that New York like accent like that. And then
But it was super high pitch.
Yeah, it was
and I
super high
like,
pitch.
oh.
Yeah. It was, reminded me of, remember Laverne and Shirley?
Squiggy?
Remember Squiggy? Squiggy like had the high pitch and he talked like that.
Yeah.
The movie was Johnny's review's the best. How much did you get into it, Johnny?
Approximately 7 minutes.
You saw the dancing.
And that was it.
And I just,
it's so bad. It's so bad. And the saddest part is that Spielberg got 2 nods for this, for movie of the year and director. Like, go.
you know,
to
the original movie,
Got 10
West Side.
Awards.
Yeah, and what were they nominated for 11, and they won 10 Academy Awards for the first one. And I think that's what kind of numbers that Spielberg
He
was
was
hoping
hoping
for.
for. Yeah.
The first one was good. I mean, you didn't have to give us another one, though. Kids don't want to see this. Adults don't want to see this.
No.
Nobody wants to see this.
When I saw this, I thought to myself, I never want to see the play. That's how bad this movie is. I'm never gonna sit through this play ever. Because this is just shit.
Well, and what's
Garbage.
the worst part is the Jets and the Sharks hate each other. It's a race thing. They just hate it. The whites don't want the Puerto Ricans over in our territory.
But
And
what's funny that the whites had a bunch of Irish and Italians in their gang.
And a couple
make
of
no
guys actually
sense to
looked
me.
like they were Puerto Rican. It kind of threw me
No
off.
kidding. I'm like, yeah.
I was like, why is that guy kind of olive skin with curly black hair? Is he
You
just
know, you know what's actually pretty funny, because like I said, I only went through 7 minutes of it, and I'm actually playing it on my phone right now while listening to you guys, and it's fucking hilarious. It's like when you're describing, like the sound is completely off, so I don't have to worry about that shit. But yeah, same thing. I'm like, why the fuck the paint cans? They didn't even do anything with them.
It
And then the
didn't
black
make
people
any
walked across the
sense.
street, right? Yeah. So I would recommend just hitting play, turning the volume off, and then playing this podcast. Just this portion, because
it's bad.
it's pretty funny.
You know, and the bad part, first of all, those gangs aren't terrifying. Imagine we all walked up to the Jets and were like, hey, you punk ass bitches, you guys steal our paint cans? like, what the fuck's going on? What are you guys doing? We're gonna fight you, but first we're gonna dance for 20 minutes. Like, what? No, we came here to fight. And then their fighting is just choreographed dancing, and then they all run away in different directions. like what's going on? Did we
Like
win?
roaches when you turn the lights
Yeah.
on. They just
And then they
scatter.
all go back to their little clubhouse. We won, fellas. We got them good. Oh man, you sure pirouetted like a master. Like, just stupid. I mean, again.
Oh,
it's-
that's what the paint cans are for.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
defacing the Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah, remember they're like kind of just splashing it everywhere. Whatever. Like they don't even know how to paint. Like there's no type of.
Yeah, they couldn't steal a brush.
Yeah, there's nothing.
No, they did. Somebody puts a brush in there. Somebody steals two or three brushes from the
it
hardware
was the Puerto
store.
Rican guy. The
And the
Puerto
guy,
Rican
like-
gang member. I'm telling you, the most. How can the cops even be fearful of the gangs? If anything, when people call, you guys need to get here. The Jets are here. Give them 20 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Is
They'll be
Benny
out of
there
that.
with them?
If anything, give them an apply. I don't know. Say good job, fellas. So I thought the movie would have been good without any of the musical, and then take this gangs more serious. Like
That's what he should have done. He's not
yeah.
making a musical.
Yeah,
Make it
exactly.
a
He should have
straight
done a musical. He should have
Romeo and
just a-
Juliet style
exactly,
movie.
Exactly.
No
he should have
music.
done. He should have done that. He should have made a little more serious tone when it came to the gangs, and more of the lighthearted romance when it came to the two main characters. But no, we didn't need it. We didn't need this movie. We didn't.
Tony and Maria, right? Weren't they? Wasn't that
Yeah,
two-
Tony Maria.
And that right there, the guy Tony, he was Italian. He wasn't even a white Irish dude
Yeah, he was Italian, and he was the second in command for the Jets until he got busted. And then,
until he went to jail for a year.
he learned that some guy told him in jail, "Hey, what you in here for? Dancing? What? Yeah, Footloose. Excuse me, it's a different movie. Couldn't dance in my town."
You know what this? Because I'm watching the fight scene right now. You know what this
no.
reminds me of?
Yeah.
Beat Street. You
Oh
remember
yeah.
that movie?
Yeah.
It's where they're where they're breakdance fighting
Yep.
downstairs, and they
Yep.
all get arrested. And
Well, they spent an hour and a half talking about this Rumble. They even make like the rules up and everything. And when they finally meet up to Rumble inside some sort of salt warehouse, even one of the guys explained, "Hey, this is what they put on the street when it's snowing. It's salt." I'm like, who gives a shit, man? And then all of a sudden, Michael Jackson Beat It music video takes place.
Yeah.
They're
Literally,
like
that's what
dancing
it
around
is.
each other with knives in their hand.
Yep.
Like,
Never.
oh
Nobody
my
gets
God.
hurt. It's just let's dance and dance and dance and dance some more. like that should have been the song. Hey, everybody, let's dance and dance some more. Get your partner and we go. Grab your
What's the
shark,
name of that Elder
grab your
Bar
jet.
song? To the beat of the rhythm of the rhythm of the
beat
night.
of the
They should
rhythm
have
of
that
the
playing.
night. Like it was so just garbage, and hot garbage,
and I didn't give a shit about any of these characters. I didn't give a shit about Maria. I didn't give a
It's
shit
true.
about Tony.
it's so
I didn't
true.
give a shit about Chino, who killed Tony.
Yeah.
It was so
Don't
dumb.
I mean,
It
you
was
just ruined
garbage.
it. You just ruined the movie.
A spoiler alert: I saved you some money.
True.
And some
Time, you
time.
mean time?
Time now, 'cause you can, if you have Disney Plus, whatever. I definitely saved you some time.
I like how Johnny's still watching.
He's still hooked. He's hooked.
like, you know
man.
what?
He's hooked.
I'm gonna finish this.
I'm in the salt mine right now. I'm waiting
he's
for
in
the
the
dance
salt.
off.
You're already the salt
Dude,
mine?
this movie is pretty good without any sound.
Right?
No, wait. You have to wait till homeboy drops a knife, and then the other guy pulls out a knife, and then they do the Michael Jackson back and forth gang thing. It's
Like, you ever see the videos that they do where they show the Mick Jagger and David Bowie?
that's the best.
Oh my god.
No, it doesn't. It reminds
Dancing
you
in
of
the
that.
street.
Dancing in the streets.
Dancing in the
Holy
street.
shit.
It reminds you of that. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's
There
such
was
shit.
a Family Guy episode where Stewie said something like, and they introduced us to like the gayest music video of all time, and they played the whole music video.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I was like, oh my god.
I remember that. Man, this movie's just shit. And in fact, it's 2.5 hours just made it worse. If it was an hour and a
Oh, yeah.
half, I think I could have like stomached it more, but
And which is, disappointing because I like musical. I've gone to plays. I've seen Wicked. I like the Hamilton done up, and this.
you know what? I think the problem is with this one, unlike the next movie we're going to review, this musical, the music doesn't doesn't
help.
It doesn't progress the story at all.
No,
Like
no.
zero. Because most musicals you watch, the music is just the dialogue. They're just continuing the story, right? So when you watch Hamilton, that's just the dialogue. When you watch La La Land, everything that they do, it's a progression of the story. This movie is not progression of anything. The music is zero progression to the movie. It's just big dance numbers. Remember, Johnny didn't see the part, but the dance that they have.
Oh, when he goes to the dance and meets Maria for the first time.
Well, first time, but the dance, and the guy lays out the rules that, hey, everybody get in a circle. So girls in the middle, boys on the outside. When the music stops, you got to dance with whoever you want. I mean, whoever's in front of you. The idea is that the whites will dance with the Puerto Ricans, vice versa. So everybody can get along.
Like musical chairs with people.
And the guy was trying to make a point, like, why you guys always fight? Let's just get along. Maybe you guys have more in common than you think. And right away, it breaks into a huge dance number. And it was a battle. It was a dance battle. It was the whites versus the Puerto Ricans. And I was like, for one fucking night, you can't get along. Like, God damn it, man.
Well, the funny thing about the beginning too is that when that dude, the leader of the Jets, he's like snapping his fingers to everybody, like in alleys. Nobody's there, but he snaps his fingers. Some guy comes out. He snaps his fingers down on the stairwell down there. Some guy's about to light a cigarette for some chick, and he stops and joins him. I'm like, oh fuck, maybe that really works. Maybe Fonzie really did have some powers. He snapped his fingers all the damn time.
Oh, when he snapped his fingers at the guy that was up on like the third floor, hanging out on the fire escape.
On the fire
All he
escape.
just look up and went, and the guy's like, he jumped right down, and he started dancing, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's like kind of like a mutant ability. He made people dance. Anyway, this movie also gets. I'm gonna give it a 1, and I'm gonna give the original one a 3 from 1961.
Oh, you just get to the beat it part?
Yeah, Johnny's laughing. He's just.
I just watched the conclusion of the knife fight.
Oh, homeboy runs into the knife.
Yeah, I want that shit to be posted on World Star.
Look at this gang fight that happened
Like
over
it's
New
a
York
real fight.
in Brooklyn.
World Star.
World Star. That's what they should have had. You know that in the background, some black dude jumps out. World Star. It's a race movie. It's about race. It's about racism. It's about dancing racists. Dancing racists. It's about dancing white supremacists, and it's too good. It's too fun to just laugh at it. What a piece of shit movie. Good job, Spielberg. Spielberg really hasn't had too many good movies of late. What a turd fest.
I mean, Ready Player One
Yeah,
was probably his last good one for
The
me.
book was much better though.
You know what,
I was
though?
disappointed with the movie.
Let's be honest.
The book was much better.
That movie was all effects, right? So
yeah, when you see all the characters that you want to see in it, that's what I think that's what made it good.
Anybody could have made that movie.
Yeah,
you know, it was all effects. But let's move on to the next one. Our next movie is also a musical on Netflix called Tick Tick Boom, starring Andrew Garfield and directed by damn it. Oh, you say
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
There you go. Lin-Manuel Miranda. This movie was pretty good. This movie actually was a really good musical.
Story of Jonathan Larson.
Jonathan
the
Larson.
Writer of Rent.
And this movie is about how Jonathan Larson basically set a timer on himself. By the age of 30, he felt like if he didn't have his first musical / play being made, produced, and so forth on or off Broadway, he was a failure. So he gave himself like his own little timer, and he wrote a play called Suburbia. And the movie's about that. It's about him writing that play, but it's also about not him just writing it, but what came out of it to become his next play called Tick Tick Boom, which then he went on to do Rent. But this movie's good. This music's really good. The acting is great. Andrew Garfield's really good in it. The music carries the movie. It's an actual storyline. It's a narrative, blah, blah. It's not just music for the sake of music. It's actually really good. And if you have Netflix, I recommend this one for sure. Carlos, what was your
this one? I enjoyed it at first. I was like, oh man, I don't want to watch another musical. No, it was good. It even tugs at the emotions in quite a few scenes. I'm like, oh man, that was so good. But yeah, no, it was really entertaining. At first, like I said, I wasn't sure I wanted to watch it, but no, it was good. I liked it. I didn't know who Jonathan Larson was. But you can see all the connections to Rent after they tell you that at the end he wrote Rent. Unfortunately, in real life, Jonathan died the night before the opening night of Rent.
Yeah.
So he never got to see his own success.
He had his aorta in his heart blew up.
Yes, right.
He had a undiagnosed condition, something called I think it's called Manfred, something to that effect. That is easily diagnosed, but is also not easily detectable. He just was never. He didn't know he had it. People that have that typically don't know they have it. It's crazy. He was on a roll. He's about to have the biggest Broadway play. Man, for Rent was huge.
Oh, Rent was huge. Yeah,
became a movie, and it was parodied. And what's that movie?
Lease. Team America.
But it's a very good.
That's right.
Yeah. Remember? So, AIDS. But man, I'm telling you, Tick Tick Boom is great, man. Andrew Garfield 100% deserved an Oscar nomination. Man, he kills this role, and Vanessa Hudgens is really good in it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Very good in it. And like Carlos said, there's a lot of parts in it that it's sad. A lot of triumphant parts, this guy's finally achieving his goal. But yeah, man, it is excellent, man. You want to see a good musical? Tick Tick Boom. That is great. I give that one a 4. I mean, it was good. I mean, didn't disappoint. Like I said, great act, good directing by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And he did the whole director got to put himself in the movie.
He's not in it, but he's not in it, on a big role.
No, but he does the Alfred Hitchcock thing, just an extra role.
He was the chef, right?
He was the chef
in the kitchen. Well, that's why I thought it was like
Diner, whatever it's called.
The Moonlight. Yeah,
Moonlight, something like that. Yeah.
I thought his part was good because he didn't, inject himself as a main character or anything.
Right.
He was just the guy. Pancakes up, whatever. Just threw him out there. Where M. Night threw himself in the fucking movie, like. I gotta have a major role in this movie. Do you feel like M. Night puts himself in the movie because after the studio sees the first cut, they go, hey, look, you need a fucking cut budget. Can you cast somebody we can pay nothing? Yeah, me. Okay, good. Because you are trash. Excuse me? I said you're doing a good job. Keep it up. But yeah, Tick Tick Boom, I definitely recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 5. What's your rating?
I liked it, but I give it a 3. Only because it's not something that I'm going to watch again. I saw it once. It was good, but I'm not going to watch. I probably won't watch it again. So I'll give it a 3.
There you go. So we have reviewed 4 movies for you. We only recommend 1. Johnny's still watching West Side Story. So clearly he gives that shit a 5. He is locked in right now. He is locked in. The best song in that movie is, of course, America. And it's always been the best song in that movie. Johnny doesn't know what I'm talking about, but the ladies, the Puerto Rican ladies.
America?
No, the ladies sing the song America, and it's the best part of the movie. Basically, they're just bragging about the Puerto Ricans in the movie. The gang members are saying how Puerto Rico's better, and it's just we should all just go back and live in Puerto Rico. And the girls are singing about no, America's way better, freedoms and this and that and that, and they're singing the song and it's the best
that
part.
song Tonight. I didn't know that was from that movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or that play.
That's also, but that's also a good song in the movie. But again, it doesn't make up for how shit the fucking movie is. So
no. So let's recap. A 1 for old, which was lucky to get a 1 and rather give it a 0.
A 1
for Scream, a 1 for Scream.
Mm-hmm.
West Side Story, 1 for West Side Story. And then a 3 for Tick Tick Boom.
So you're saying there are 3 movies that we are worse than
than the game. I am.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And you know what? I even got an email
That's so
from
hard
somebody
to even say.
The more movies that you put below the game, like
I mean,
the game is gonna get better over
it's
time.
sad. The sad part is that old is still better than the game.
Old is
is
not
so
better
bad,
than the game.
man. The game is such a bad movie. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
a
guys,
good
you know what?
movie.
Oh
man.
I got an email from somebody said he would like to come on and he would spend the whole hour telling people that they're wrong about how bad the game is and how it's a great piece of film.
But we don't want Michael Douglas on.
I don't think it's even Michael Douglas, man. Even he doesn't like it.
Is it
when you talk to him about it?
Is it Fincher?
Like,
right?
Huh?
Was it David Fincher or was it Lynch or or whoever the director was?
Lynch.
He wants to come on.
I told him he would love you, but I'm not going to spend an hour on this crap.
That's such a, you know what it is too? That person is like Hugh, where it's not about the movie, it's about the psychological experience. Like,
but the funny thing is, this guy told me that back in the day when he bought his first DVD player, when he had, when they first came out and he got enough money to buy it, that was the first movie he decided to buy, was the game.
So it's nostalgia. It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
No, it's true because I remember.
Because remember when you got your first DVD, you just put that shit on repeat and you watched it like 1,000 times.
Well, it's like
maybe if you watch it 1,000 times, it becomes really, really
when I saw The Crow the first time in theaters, I was like, it's the best movie I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. Then I bought the DVD. I must have watched that thing like 30 times. Like I just watched it over and over. I had the poster on my wall, Brandon Lee in his crow costume, chilling in his little chair, look like he's a king of the world, whatever. And then when I watch it now, I'm like, movie's okay. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 3. But if I rate it,
still holds though.
It holds up. But I'm like, it's a 3 though. If I rate it now, because there's a lot of bad acting in it. It's not as good as we remember. It's like I said, also a nostalgia thing where you asked me 20 years ago, it's a 5 out of 5. I watch it now, I'm like, it's a solid 3. And
I remember my first DVD set when I bought my DVD player was the Bruce Lee box set. And
but it's Bruce Lee.
Holds up.
You can't go wrong with Bruce Lee. Like you can still watch any of his movies. And
nobody can kick a fool through a wall and leave a perfect outline imprint.
Nobody.
Like Bruce Lee can.
I mean, my favorite Bruce Lee movie will probably always be The Chinese Connection.
Good movie.
Yeah, The Chinese Connection is. I mean, he has got a lot of good ones. A lot. Well, I say a lot. He only made 5, but he has a lot of good ones. But Chinese Connection is. I don't count the game.
That's the one where he meets up with the girl, right? And
yes.
Yeah. And he sneaks into that compound.
Yes.
Yeah. That is a great movie.
And that's the one where he acts like the phone man. Remember?
Yeah. The phone guy.
Because they wouldn't let him in. What was this? Remember he kicked the sign that says no Chinese allowed, but dogs are allowed in the park, and he kicks the sign.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah.
Because the guy tells him if he gets down on all fours, he'll take him into the park.
Yeah. Man, Chinese Connection is good. But yeah, you're right though. Bruce Lee movies hold up, man. But then again, if you give me a good classic kung fu movie, I'll give you a good thumbs up.
5 Deadly Venoms, love it.
Ooh, doesn't hold up at all.
No, I love it. That's a good movie.
The premise is great.
Which one?
The 5 Deadly Venoms.
The five brothers now have their
brothers, kung fu style, and they all wore different masks, like the snake, the tiger,
scorpion, the toad, snake.
When you first see it, it's awesome when you're 12. But that's what I'm saying. I can watch the Chinese Connection now and the Big Boss and Return of the Dragon and Enter the Dragon, and it'd be like, man, these are still really good movies. Like the premise is good. I feel like Bruce Lee just picked good movies and good premises when he made his movies, and he kind of had a point to his movies. Big Boss was about labor and union and his workers being treated like shit. Chinese Connection was about race. Like there was always a premise behind it. Like, oh, I see what he's getting at. Good old Bruce. Johnny's still watching West Side Story, which is hilarious.
No, I saw the end.
No, did the credits?
I sang to myself.
No, you sang your own songs?
Yeah.
It's such a shit movie. The worst part of that movie is that it's 2.5 hours. The fact that it's as long as Spider-Man. What? Anyway, so that's pretty much it. That's all we got for you this week. We did 4 movie reviews. We told you, we saved you a lot of time. That's for damn sure. Saved you a lot of time. Anything else, fellas, before we hit the bricks?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Carlos, hold on. He's thinking. Head is shaking.
No, I'm good.
Nothing there. All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the podcast. We'll see you next week for Johnny.
Yeah.
See ya.
Next week.
For Carlos.
Next week, we got 2 hot wives
Coming on, you mean, the show.
coming on.
It's like, we just have 2 hot wives.
Just stop there. We got 2
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
wives.
Not a show they can
This week we
watch.
don't. But next week.
And remember,
Amazing.
watch The Batman, you bastards. Go watch. Do you want to see a good movie? Go watch The Batman. All right. There you go. Thanks for tuning in. Nerds Talking the podcast. See you next week. Later.
Bye-bye.